right. We have with us Nathan. He's been active with us. He was on a session earlier with Irene and very supportive. We're really lucky to have him in the community, always contributing and helping. You're going to be sharing about Firewallet project you're working on. And you take it away from here. I'll be behind the stage.
Let me just share my screen, hopefully. Let me just start Firewallet. I didn't expect to be here this soon, hence why I am still in the middle of setting everything up. But Firewallet is a new front end for HSD, so Bob Wallet, think like that. But I built it in the hopes that it's easy to add your own plugins. So easy for you to develop and build basically any functionalities you want into your wallet. So it has a web front end, mainly because I have HSD servers like in servers, and if I want to access them from home, web works the best for me. For some of you developers, you probably also have nodes in the servers. So very basic front end. You've got domain HNS available in total, very similar to, say, Bob Wallet. Why is it still syncing? Who knows? Same as you've got transactions, everything like that. I think my computer's going to be super slow because it's doing too much work. Yeah. So tons and tons of just the standard functions with options in that. Is it going to, there we go. It's just being slow. But the plugins is where Firewallet is really different from Bob Wallet. So for example, it has a couple of default plugins that I've included. So batching transfers. So if you have, say, 1,000 domains in Bob Wallet and you want to send them to Namebase to list them, here is a super duper simple way to send it all in one transaction, save on fees, and it'll take seconds. Well, apart from the 2-day transaction delay. Same as finalize and a bunch of other things, so you can batch, bid, open auctions, stuff like that, all just in one single transaction. And for those of you who like CSVs, you can bid on 100 domains with different values of blinds and bids. And of course, if you want to be super fancy, you can do lots of different transactions in one batch. So for example, you can send HNS domains, finalize domains, open auctions, bid on auctions, do all of that in one go, in one transaction. The problem with these on Bob is sometimes you need to change your wallet look ahead if you're sending thousands of transactions in one go. But you shouldn't have to change that. Have a look at the plugins. I've added a custom plugin manager to allow you to very easily add your own plugins. So I've included it. Still alive, partially. Boom. There we go. So I've included a couple of example plugins, mainly the plugin template. So if you have written any Python, very, very simple layout, you've got examples here, and it's super easy to write. So you can write plugins to do basically anything, any automations. Say you want to have a button on your domains to set up a DNS resolver, set up a name server, add records to the name server, set up a website service. If you understand a bit of Python and have systems in place to do that, it's very easy to then write a script to automate that. So for example, let's have a look at the multi-wallet plugin that I've provided access to. So in the custom plugin manager, if you just use the Git URL, you can just go add this custom plugin. It imports it, and now if you go to the plugins page, you've now got multi-wallet functions. You'll notice how it has this not verified. This is it's not a full security thing, but just a warning, because these plugins are powerful. If you just import anything from the internet, this is your wallet. Don't do that, because who knows what the plugin does, right? So don't just download random stuff from the internet and run it on your crypto wallet, or else you will be stolen from. So if you want to, you can inspect this code. It's not very complex. Basically, checking wallet balances and stuff like that. Let me verify this to say I have read it. So, for example, this is a multi-wallet plugin for some of us power users who have, 10 or 20 Bob wallets. So if I log out, you'll probably be able to see when you have this many wallets, sometimes you forget what's going on, right? So if I go into my multi-wallet plugin, my laptop does not like it. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Auto renewals are mostly possible. They do require you to be logged in to the wallet. So I do have in here automations. So this will automatically check for renewals. It'll check for pending finalizers and pending reveals. I don't think I've done pending redeems because they aren't time sensitive. I think that makes, for example, this plugin will get the wallet balances of all my wallets, make it super simple to see, ignore some of the balances because there are many, many double ups. I don't have that much money. Really because I have 10 of every single wallet basically. But the whole idea of this is really easy to write plugins, super simple to add automations and stuff like that. Let me show you the automations for. So once you verify the plugin, give a look. Let me go to the dashboard. It should tell me the automations are running. Starting. Unfortunately, I don't have the domain about to expire, so I can't really show you. But it should be. I don't know why it says starting. It has already started. I should fix that. But that will just be checking every, I think, 60 seconds or so. Probably a bit slower than that, actually. I think I changed it to every 15 minutes. But it will just check, do I have any domains expiring, any need finalizing, any need revealing. So that's just some updates for Firewallet. You can find details about it, firewallet.au or just Firewallet. I think it also has it on fire.wallet if you want to support scott.wallet. But I've got a setup instructions here. Setup. No, don't die. There we go. Including a installation video. I think that installation video is on showing the installation on Linux, but everything is pretty much the same. Like a slight little difference, but should be able to see from the installation video to be able to install on Windows or anything like that. Any other questions?
Do you see the Q&A tab from Kurihiro in the Q&A tab?
Yes, so everything here is running entirely local. There is, well, with a very slight caveat, HSD, of course, needs to actually talk to the rest of the Handshake network, but the actual Firewallet interface runs entirely local. Well, I can't really show you, but all of it is running as a Python. If we go down here, Python interface. Well, my computer's complaining everything's slow, but it probably couldn't be hosted on IPFS because it needs to be able to talk to a HSD node. And I've thought about having a shared node. So, for example, I could share my node with 20 people and they could all access my Handshake node for their wallets. The problem is if I wanted to sync with, so do a rescan or something like that, or input a new wallet, it stops every other wallet from working while HSD is syncing. And that takes 20, 30 minutes. So this is mainly used as not a replacement for Bob Wallet because it still uses HSD, but it's more a power user interface. So basically make everything as more programmable, so more easily updated, and make it easier to add your own plugins. So for example, Varo, actually Linux one that has a Varo API key already added. So Varo is Eskimo's name server. So if I wanted to use Eskimo's name server with some of my domains, I could use the Varo plugin. Oh, it has a login here. Totally forgot about that. So, for example, let's find a domain that definitely isn't in Varo. Early trust. Maybe I haven't added Varo. I think I might have accidentally broke Varo. But you should be able to, if I go down to here, here it is. Go early trust, add it, and this will then just go and add the domain to Varo, set up all the records. So if I go into transactions, it set the DNS records of that domain to Varo. So, well, I think it set it onto my instance. Just one sec. Let me drag this over here so you don't all see my passwords. Why is my internet so slow? Now if we go down into here, what was it called? I don't remember the domain. Maybe I haven't measured early trust. That's what one was. There, see? There we go. So it adds the domain into Varo, sets up all the on-chain records, and all does that in one click. So that's the whole idea of Firewallet, to be able to allow for these sort of quick integrations, basically allow you to be able to automate the entire process of setting up a name server or setting up a web server. So stuff like that with very, very simple to use user interface and quite simple to write plugins. Oh, look, it's synced. Took its time. Any other questions? Q&A tab.
I think we're good. Getting good feedback in the chats as always for your work, Nathan. And it's great. It's great. I know it was a little bit earlier than you had planned to share.
That's all good. I mean, I managed to get everything working, I think.
Yep. Great.
Just my computer is like, just like dying. It's like, don't project, don't do all these things at once.
All right. I'm still a little bit technical for me, I guess, but maybe others. But it's great to see it. I mean,
in the future, I'm hoping to find somebody who runs Windows and is able to help me package it up into one simple executable. But I don't know how to do that, and I need somebody on Windows to help test it with me.
Okay.
But that should make it a lot easier to install.
Sounds good. I also just registered for the ICANN Noi event during that and found a link.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's in May. What time is it?
11:50. Too easy. So I'm not too over time.
I see another Q&A tab pop up. Let me see. From Chelsea to Nathan, what might the estimated cost and workload look like to add in resolving HSTLDs to a new browser?
So resolving, it takes two parts, right? So you've got, I could probably actually put a whiteboard up. I knew this would come in handy. So resolving has two parts. You've got the DNS aspect and you've got the HTTPS. So basically, the HTTPS on Handshake is the hardest part for the browsers to do. Oh, actually, maybe not. I think everybody's able to write on the whiteboard. Let's not use the whiteboard. Chaos. So the DNS aspect is super easy. Well, fairly easy. You just have to set in your browser to use a different DNS provider. So let me just go and give you an example. See, I'm not sure if this will really work. So I already have Fingertip running. Let me just stop Fingertip. Stop. So now let's just double check that these actually stopped. Yeah, so, well, no internet. Oh, no, never mind. If I stop Fingertip, that'll break other things. Don't do that. I forgot that I have a proxy set up, hard-coded. But the DNS aspect is pretty easy. You can just go to, it'll usually be in like security, and you can, easiest way is set up a DNS over HTTPS. So where's that? A secure DNS. So you can just go and add a custom one, easiest one to use. Well, one that I use, HNSDOH. You can just go grab here, DNS over HTTPS, and you can just grab, this URL and plug it in here. It will complain. Oh, there we go. And it would allow you to then access the HTTP ones. HTTPS, on the other hand, is a little bit difficult to do because the HTTPS on Handshake uses DANE, so the DNS-based authentication rather than certificate authorities. So that's that's where you need fingertip or another Dane verifying protocol or system. This is quite difficult for the browsers to implement because it requires an entire rewrite of the SSL verification system. It's not like too difficult to actually do. It's just it needs to be added, and it doesn't have much benefit at the moment for browsers to add this. The only people that use Dane is Handshake and a little bit of email service, but that's kind of irrelevant. But mainly just Handshake. So for browsers to add Dane, they have to be targeting Handshake. There isn't any other incentive. Whereas adding a DNS provider here is super simple to do, and the browsers don't care if you're using Handshake or whatever. It does not affect them. But adding the Dane verification requires them to be targeting a Handshake. So that's the main hard thing for the browsers to do, is to add the Dane verification. Whether it works, with other blockchains, that it really depends on how they're resolving. So if they use a Handshake, a base layer, and then add custom rules, so for example, .eth will just ignore the Handshake root zone and it'll go directly to ENS or something like that. Or if they decide to do the different ways to do the resolution, which would result in different namespace conflicts. If they're deliberate in the way that they do it and are planning for these conflicts, it's up to them to decide which person wins the conflict. There's not a set way that Handshake requires it. Does that answer your question? Anonymous. Oh no, Chelsea.
It might have been Chelsea, I think. Yeah, I believe I think people could follow that. So I think, a little bit over time, but I mean, it's fine. Thanks, Nathan. You'll also be hanging around for the networking session too,
Yep.
So people can find you there, and you'll be here for the other sessions in the following rest of the event too, right? So thanks. Yeah, everyone appreciates you, Nathan. So thanks for what you do, and
Too easy.
Cheers.
What's up
Thanks.
next?
What's up next? So we're gonna go to networking. People want more networking time.
Oh,
We're gonna go
too
networking.
easy.
I think we'll just close this session. I'll just do a little talk about the agenda, the rest of the agenda, and then we'll go to networking. But yeah, I think you can
Catch you around.
see you soon.
This event wouldn't be possible without our amazing sponsors. Our bronze sponsors, D-Web Foundation, .x, our community sponsors, Handshake